Eden Utilities can help your organisation to convert the energy it uses every day into a more sustainable source of supply. We are a professional, totally independent but friendly utility consultancy that can offer any organisation a way of converting its own waste into energy. This provides a number of beneficial rewards. So, if you already recycle items like plastics and paper, you could now use the rest of the waste your business creates to generate power for use back into your organisation. If you don't do any recycling yet, you could start now, without the need for any additional effort or large investment in time or cash to accommodate the initiative. Our Eden Infinity product provides your business with a way of not only helping the planet, but also saving you money. Your business creates waste. That waste is collected, and then we work with your energy supplier to ensure that the power generated from your waste is used to supply electricity back to you. In doing something like this, along with doing your bit to help save the planet and meeting your business's green targets, it provides great PR for your organisation, sending a very positive message to your suppliers, clients and stakeholders. It's something to be very proud of. At Eden Utilities, we pride ourselves on being unique with our continuous innovation, along with our ethos of providing a fully transparent pricing model to all our clients. Our personable approach means we always work with you to find the best for you. We regard ourselves as an extension of your business, a partner. Eden Utilities, your sustainability partner.
Good evening and welcome to St James's Park, Exeter for episode 6 of Talk of the Town. Get in there!
Don't panic, I'm not leaving you in the hands of Ken for the full 45 minutes to an hour of build-up. It is me, Joe Comper. I am back live here from St James's Park, Exeter, bringing you all the build-up as we take on the Grecians here in just an hour's time. Coming up on the show, we'll have the regulars, Erdem Konya and John Yems will be popping by. Ken will be back very shortly to talk about the team news we'll be bringing you in the next 5 minutes or so. Craig Bratt, who has got a foot in both camps, working for Exeter, but obviously a big Crawley Town fan, he'll be here to give us the opponent's view and also taking on the reigning champ Gary in higher or lower. Of course, you can follow the action on the iFollow for just £10. That is season ticket holders and non-season ticket holders. Head over to the Crawley Town website, log in, pay your £10 and you can follow the action. Obviously, early kick-off here, 7 o'clock rather than the usual 7:45. As always, Ballers is open, where you can get your match day offer of £5 for a burger, chips and a can of drink. Collection only for that offer. If you can get yourself down to the People's Pension Stadium, please do so. Support the club. £5 for burgers, chips and drink. If you can't make it to the club, you can still support us by buying Ballers on Just Eat or Uber Eats. They'll bring it to your door whilst you follow the action or the nonsense that's going to go on here for the next 45 minutes. But first, a great highlights package for us to watch this evening as we can take a look back on the Reds battering Morecambe 4-0 at the weekend.
Crawley just edging their way into this match. Tony Craig booms one forward. Lovely touch and control, and this is much better from Crawley. Really nice play this. It's cut out and then flashed across goal. Now Tyler Frost. Down here in West Sussex, their away form though last season more than suspect. It's a cultured ball by Jack Powell, not finding his man though. Tom Nichols, the signing from Bristol Rovers, still going. That wasn't too far away. Tyler Frost again. Surprise package this season. I don't think anybody expected them to be anywhere near the top of the league. John O'Sullivan with the ball. And this is Ryan Cooney, draws the save, and it's a good one from Glenn Morris. It's rare that Crawley don't score at home. They've scored 20 goals in the last 10 in the league on this ground. Looking threatening. Waters pulls it back. Nichols. And this might fall kindly for George Frankham. Frankham hits it! It's a brilliant goal from the skipper, George Frankham. It's a bolt from the blue for Crawley Town. What a strike this is. He hadn't scored in 3 previous seasons prior to this campaign, and now he's got 2 this season. Wonderful. Lovely. Frankham. Jack Powell gets it back from Frankham. Beautiful play this from Crawley Town. Powell digs in across, and there's the header, and there's the second goal for Crawley Town. Value for their lead. It's been a wonderful second half display from John Yem's side. Morecambe still carry a threat though. Adam Phillips, who played the ball. Phillips wants it back, he leaves it. It's a good effort from Wildig. Well, a word of warning for Crawley. They've lost 26 points from winning positions last season. Well, and then Waters might be in here, and Waters is in for his second goal on his debut. They are a real force on this ground. It's just their away form they need to sort out. Sam Matthews. Lovely build-up play again. Really well left from Nichols, and there's the 4th goal. Tyler Frost. Well, his display deserves that. He missed.
Yes, what a performance at the weekend, and we'll be hoping for more of the same here. I'm delighted to be joined by the legendary Travel Ken. Here he is, looking like a walking Crawley club shop. Brilliant, love it. We'll get to talk to Ken very shortly, but first let's bring you the team news this afternoon, or this evening. One change for the Reds as Waters comes into the starting lineup in place of Naddison. So it gives you Morris, Frankham, Tunnicliffe, Craig, Doherty, Hessenthaler and Powell, Matthews, Frost, Waters and Nichols. On the bench this evening, McGill, McNerney, Davis, Ferguson, Galak, Alarakia and Jake Hesketh potentially making his debut for the Reds here this afternoon off the bench. Ken, obviously you've seen the Reds every game this year as a BBC, I heard yourself describe yourself as a BBC summariser earlier on. Loves it, absolutely loves it. Obviously, watching every game.
Yeah.
Saturday, best performance of the season, surely.
Without a doubt, yeah. And obviously, Watters came in, I think, made a difference to the team. I mean, he's a young lad, 21 years old, and he's come into the team with a bang. And let's hope he can keep that going.
Yeah, obviously, he got a goal against Arsenal.
Yeah.
But it really made a difference in it. From
He
the moment
did.
he come on, the first thing he did was knock the ball down the line and run at them, and you could
Yeah.
almost sense the whole place, that the few people that are actually allowed to be there, the whole place sort of lifted,
Yeah.
and you sort of thought, here we go, right?
Yeah.
Because it was quite a flat first half. But
Yeah.
the second half was superb, possibly the best. I heard someone say it was the best 45 minutes they've seen.
Yeah, that's right. A friend of mine I went to yesterday afternoon for a cup of tea, he said it's the best 45 minutes football he's seen for a long while Crawley played. So, I mean, what better advert could you have?
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, tonight, Exeter, a good side, always there or thereabouts. I know you were saying on the way up here about last year we should have got a result against Exeter.
Yeah.
We ended up drawing a game where we could have won. What are you expecting from them this afternoon? What do you normally get?
Well, I mean, they're a very good team, aren't they, Exeter? I mean, they don't get in the playoffs virtually every season, and I think they were unlucky this year not to be in League One. So
Yeah.
we're playing probably one of the best teams in the league on their home ground, albeit no supporters in, which might make a big difference to the game. I mean, we were talking yesterday about how the supporters can influence not only the players on the pitch, but the referee as well, on the decisions he gives during the game. So I think Crawley as good a chance today as they'll ever have at St James's Park.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And I think one of the bases of Exeter's success over the past few years has been the consistency. So they had a consistent manager for a long time, managed the game for 600 games. And then obviously now, again, manager coming into his second, third season, and the players are quite settled. We're starting to build that as well. People like Josh Doherty have been here for a number of years. George Frankham's now been here for a number of years. Do you think that is important to getting this side gelling and growing as a team?
I think without a doubt. I mean, John's brought in some very good young players, as we've seen, and we've got the new boy coming in tonight from Southampton, Jake Hesketh. Hopefully he'll get on the pitch at some time so we can see what he's all about. But John and Erdem have brought in excellent players this year.
You have to say that because he stood right
I
there.
know, and he's standing next to me. But he has brought in good players, and it's going to take them a while to gel. And I think probably the Saturday in the second half, we're just beginning to see them coming together a bit. Sam Matthews on the ball was good. Tyler Frost had another good game.
There's been a lot of talk of losing the big fella, but it actually doesn't matter when you're playing that quality football on the ball with the technical players with
Well, I think when Watters comes on, he does give us that extra little bit of height. He can actually flick the ball on, which is what we're needed. And I was looking forward tonight really to see him play, hopefully, with Ashton Addison. But obviously that isn't going to happen now. But in the future, I think with him flicking the ball on, and with both their speed, I think.
And Nichols obviously.
And then maybe Tom playing off him as well. I mean,
it's very true.
What a forward line we could have.
Yeah, very true. I mentioned George Frankham there, who of course scored the opener on Saturday, which was indeed the club's 500th goal in the EFL period. We put out a message on Twitter asking you, the fans, to write and say what were your favourite goals, what were the best goals during the last 10 years or so. So many goals that we've split it into two different sections. Here's the first for you to enjoy. Back over memory lane.
Taken short. Lovely back heel from Billy Clark and put on a plate for Jamie Proctor.
Joined now by technical director Erdem Konya. Erdem, firstly, we just showed a video, or half a video, there's still some more to come of classic goals over the last 10 years. Obviously George was the 500th. You've been here now for five or so seasons. How, some of the goals in your era which are your personal favourite?
Obviously the Felipe Moraes goal was special at Yeovil. A special one was the away win at Chesterfield in the 90+3rd minute.
Yeah, Youngie.
That was a very special goal. I like the Reece Cox goal against Scunthorpe, that was a bit special as well. But there's a load of goals, the Luton goal and Jimmy Smith's first goal against Wickham in our first full season.
I know the Yeovil one in particular, obviously, because it meant so much as to win that game, and in the director's box it was a mixture of like delight and relief. Looking at this season, it's Saturday. I've heard people say that the second 45 was the best performance they've ever seen from a Crawley side. Obviously 0-0 at half time, second half completely turned it on. What were your thoughts on the game?
I think it was a brilliant performance in the second half. I even think in the first half we nullified them a little bit. They only had one shot. We had a few little chances in the box. Second half it was nice to see Powell clicking. It was nice to see Nico, Tyler Frost get on the score sheet. So it's good to see the new boys in a way embedding in with the old boys. Frankham getting two goals.
You could see how much it meant to Tyler Frost as well, couldn't you? Like, he scored the goal, you could really see it meant a lot to him, and hopefully he'll kick on now.
Exactly, because he can go the other way if he doesn't score, can build up in his mind. So now in a way he's got a free lease of life, a new lease of life, sorry, and hopefully he can kick on and carry on with goals and assists for us.
Yeah, and obviously Max Watter's come on and got 2 goals. Sort of, it seemed to give us a new lease of life at half time when he come on. How important could he be? Obviously, it's early days, don't want to get too excited because he's only played sort of 1.5 games for us, but could be important for us.
You couldn't start any better. He's got 3 goals in 2 games. Once again, the gaffer absolutely to spot a player like that, you know, at that age, and believe in him and back him. That's a sign of a good manager and a good football person that's good for this football club.
He's taking full credit.
Yeah, no, you've got to give the gaffer full credit because it is the truth.
Way, absolutely.
But what's important here is not only Max Waters, but I've been here for 5 years, like we said, but this management, I'm not just saying it, they care about the club and they care about the badge, and they don't care about their next move. They care about the players that come in, what can they bring to the club and to the badge, and they've got a good camaraderie going. So, you know, we are going to have hard corners and bad results sometimes, but we've got to stay united as a family, as fans, everyone on off the pitch, and off the pitch, so that we can move forward. And it's important that everyone embraces what we've got at the moment, the unity. And when the fans are back in, hopefully we're roaring again.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll come in at a time when it's exciting and we're fighting at the top
exactly.
End of the league. One thing over the past few years we probably have missed is when Danny Ballman isn't available. We haven't really had an experienced head who can slot in there and do a similar role and compete in the midfield. Saturday, Jake Hessenthaler seems to grab the game and really control it. Is he the sort of that? Yeah, if you like.
Well, once again, it's the gaffer. I mean, he's spotted him. He knows him from. He knows his old man from working with him at Gillingham. And the one thing, once again, I'm not just saying it, but the new breath of fresh air. We have a new It's like a new football world in Crawley. It's actually where this is the way it should be. But at the same time, it's gone the other way, where sometimes I'm trying to give more money, and then the gaffer's saying don't give more money. Where it was the other way around in the years before. So that shows good management. And once again, to spot and recruit such a player, knowing that we need that, that's also, you know, you have to give these people the points and the merit that they deserve.
And looking ahead to tonight, St James's Park always a tough place to come. This stand here, this is one of my favourite terraces for an away ground, one of my favourite terraces in the league, and normally roars. Obviously they haven't got that tonight, but we're still going to get a tough game, aren't we?
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, these guys, they played, I think, in the playoff final, so it's a tough place to come. They've got good players, good young players coming through. Look, every game's a tough test. We just got to go into every game, same mentality, give everything we got, and we can't leave anything at home. If we give everything we've got on the pitch, regardless of result, for me that's fine. But I know we'll win games if we give everything we've got on the pitch, and hopefully tonight we'll come away with a positive result.
Brilliant. We got John Yems will be with us. He's here, ready to roll. But first, we mentioned at the start of the show about our offer of Ballers, £5 for a burger, chips, and a drink. You can support us by supporting Ballers. I'm joined now by the head coach, John. John, firstly, you must be delighted about the result last week.
Yeah, I don't know how many times people have stopped me and said about it. No, listen, it's a good result. 4-0 any time. Score 4 goals without conceding, brilliant result.
You often hear in football about how people say it's going to click and we're going to batter someone, and you can almost see something brewing, but it does take time to chill. Personally, probably a bit too early to start saying and expecting those performances every week, but is that the feeling you get?
No. In training, you can tell we're a long way off of it yet. You know, we're doing well. The lads have done well, but there's still a lot more we got to do, and there's still, we come up against bigger sides. We've got to be a little bit cleverer when we play different sides that play different styles. But listen, on the football front, that's why the lads are there. That's their job, and they are, because it's a new squad. I said this weeks ago. We're getting to know each other, but as soon as I start thinking we're happy, then all of a sudden it goes pear-shaped.
I always find in-house, sort of, you win 4-0 and it's a case of, right, crack on, we've got another game Tuesday, that's gone. Whereas sort of the fans are up 1 minute down there. You spoke about it before, 4-0, we're gonna win the league, we're gonna make the playoffs. Next week you might lose 2-0 and all of a sudden we're getting relegated. You've got to manage that expectation.
Well, it's managing the fans' expectations. My expectation, I told you right from the, if we survive this year, same with a lot of clubs, let's not beat around the bush. You know, we all see the news and read the news. Let's get a little bit real with it all, and if we survive and we are still a Football League club next year, then we build on that. And that don't mean to say we're going to lay down and let people beat us, by the way, but it's a young squad and it can only improve.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at Exeter, a club you know really well, you spent just over a year here as...
2 years, 2.5 years.
Okay, so you spent... So
2 promotions, one at Wembley. One the following year, but other than that, we never done nothing. Right? No, I was here with Paul Tisdale and Matty Taylor, obviously the manager, was centre half. But no, great memories here. Some great supporters.
Always seems like a well-run club, I think, Exeter, from the outside at least.
Yeah. It's like, well, people are talking about Crawley now being a well-run club, but you come all this way. It's only when you come the distance and people talk about you now, Bournemouth and Exeter. I think I've done the miles, and you learn everywhere you go, and you like to take little snippets all over the place. But no, they was good to me here, the fans and the people. Just been talking to a lot of people. But it's Crawley now. Let's hope we can be all saying that about Crawley when we get promoted a couple of times.
Absolutely, and obviously a good side, Exeter. Like they're always there or thereabouts. Unfortunate on so many occasions not to get up. But you expect them to still be up there next year? Is this going to be a really tough game tonight?
When you look at some of the results, and you think all of a sudden the team, well, here we go, they're beginning. It all changes. So, listen, if you beat yourself up now, if you believe it all when you win, you've got to believe it when you lose. So you're better off just looking at it with one eye open and smile when you win. And I don't do enough. But I'm going to be smiling hopefully when we hit the top 6 and we go up promoted, and you see a big smile then.
I'm sure. One thing that made everyone smile, I think, at the weekend was Max Watters coming in and scoring 2 goals after he got a goal at his debut. He gets a start tonight. Could he be a big player for us this season, or again is it a case of, look, it's early days?
As I said to you, it's a squad. We haven't got a team. I keep telling all the players, and there's people going, why ain't he playing? Why this one? It's a squad. And the team, everybody that we want to be fit, we try and keep everybody fit, which is why we bring a few away with us, carry on training. It's a team game. And, the lads have got to be ready, because we ain't big enough to carry expensive players like we used to in the past and thinking that they're good players. Well, sometimes money don't always buy success, so you've just got to cut your off. And all they want to do, mate, they go out there and they try and they play for Crawley. That's all you can ask for.
One thing, there's been a talk about the size of the squad. One thing that seems to me this year, in comparison to last year, and you can see it in the Mr. and Mrs. Whenever there's like a sort of slightly negative thing they might want to say about one of their teammates, they struggle, because actually everyone seems to get on. It seems to be quite a tight-knit bunch, whereas in the past we might have had the odd character who sort of upsets the apple cart.
Oh, it's don't get me wrong. It ain't all like it's not a monastery. It's not all like a Julie Andrews film. I'll tell you that much. But that's what you want. You want it because they're, if they all help each other play well, they'll help each other get a move. They'll help each other do well, and that's what you want to create. It's the only way you be successful. You can't be successful on your own. It's a team game.
They look after the club, and they'll be looked after.
Club will look after them,
absolutely.
hopefully.
John, hopefully we're heading down the A303 later on with 3 points. Thank you very much for joining us, and good luck.
Thank you. Well, I'm not going to shake hands.
Yeah, I thought about it. I didn't want to be rude. Cheers, John. Thank you. So obviously we showed you the first half of our video of some of the top goals of the 500 we've scored in the EFL period. Let's take a look at the second half of that clip.
Here, it's Tubbs, it's a fabulous finish, and Crawley have turned this around.
And you think, well, this is going to be sort of floated around the penalty spot, in which case you're relying on finding a red shirt, aren't you, or a red head. It's going to be Henderson, goes for goal, brilliantly! Oh my word! What a strike that is from Henderson, and our Crawley going to win their first game in 4, courtesy. Now by Craig Bratt, who, as much as he might try and hide it by wearing an Exeter badge, he's Crawley through and through, and he knows it. But of course, Craig, doing a media role here at Exeter. Firstly, tell us about your role, how it's going.
So as some of you know, that I was obviously the media intern at Crawley for a couple of seasons, and I do the same now, but in a full-time role. Manage the match day, social media, interviews and things like that. Really enjoying it, but I'm not sure if I'll enjoy tonight or not. I'm not sure how it's going to go yet.
Sort of sat very much on the fence. Look, we want you here for your Exeter expertise, something like that. Looking back to last season, unfortunate to miss out in the semi-final of the playoffs, wasn't it? But are you expecting them to compete at the top end again this year?
Yeah, that's very much the goal that the manager set for the team, is to do what they did last season, but actually get the promotion this time, whether that be the playoffs or the top three. Very much that's the mentality across the side, and hopefully this season they can go one step further.
After tonight you have a good season, but obviously tonight there's only one winner, hopefully. And you said about it was a bit of a dull 0-0 draw away at Walsall last week, but other than that, has the season been quite positive for Exeter?
Yeah, I mean, especially away from home, we've put some blinded performances. I think a 2-2 draw at Salford on the opening day, we were brilliant. It's very much a young team. It's a much younger team than the side that we saw last season. We've brought a lot of players in from the academy. You know, it's a famed academy, obviously with Ollie Watkins and things, and the money from his sale to Villa. I
was going to comment. You've stolen my
next
question.
Go on.
Come on, I'll pretend you haven't. Anyway, Ollie Watkins. Obviously, Ollie Watkins was an Exeter graduate, if you like, come through the academy here. Obviously, getting his big move has put money into the coffers at Exeter, which is really important at a time like now when a lot of clubs are struggling. Has any of that money been invested in the squad, or is that just keeping the club afloat at the moment?
So I think, honestly, I don't know too much about the finances. I don't get involved in that too much, but it was almost about 4 million was a sell-on clause, and honestly, if I had £1 for every time someone asked about Ollie Watkins, I think I'd have about 4 million quid as well. No, look, especially now with no fans, I think the priority with that money is to keep the club afloat at the moment. We're in a fortunate position where many clubs aren't, and we've got that money coming in instalments from Brentford, and look, I think over time that's probably our playing budget for the next few seasons.
So obviously Ollie Watkins is old news in terms of being a top Exeter player. Who have they got? They're warming up just behind us. Who should we be looking out for today? Who even maybe we shouldn't have heard of, or maybe someone we have should have heard of?
Watch what I say here. No, look, to be honest, some of the players this season have put an absolutely incredible. Josh Key he's on the bench tonight, but he's probably been a stand-up performer at right back. He's not his natural position either. He's only 20 from the academy. He's been absolutely superb. Matt J as well. I mean, to be honest, it's been quite an all-round team. Goals are coming from all three positions outfield this season, and the goalkeepers make some cracking saves as well. So it's an all-round team, and I think it will be in for a really competitive season.
And have you been able to see much of Crawley this year?
Do you know what? I've only been able to watch the highlights, and when I'm at the games here and away games, I do catch bits of Talk of the Town, and I've got a spare 5 minutes. Never had you down as a presenter, Joe, I'll be honest. But,
and many people would say I'm not. But yeah, Nick the Geordie from the filming company is shaking his head. I make this show, you know it.
I've been really, from what I have seen, I've been really impressed. I think the signing of Hesketh is a real statement to the league.
Yeah.
I don't know how Yemzi's pulled that one off.
Well, hopefully he'll get on tonight. We've not seen him yet.
Max Watters, that's the one. He's wow, you can't bet. Great start from him. 2 goals on Saturday from the bench.
Looks a good signing so far. What a signing!
and where's Frankham's rockets come from?
Yeah, absolutely. Craig, he's going to stick around and he is going to take part in everybody's favourite game here on Talk of the Town. It's higher or lower.
My God, it's higher or lower with Talk of the Town.
Okay. We're back already? God, no, don't get a chance to breathe on this show. You need to make that intro longer. Okay, Gary, obviously the reigning champion. You haven't got a mic, Gary. One of the mics is broken, I'm afraid, but I'm sure people, if you shout loud enough, people will hear you, I'm sure. Gary, obviously the reigning champion, currently with 2 wins under his belt, which levels Tom Allman's run of 2 wins. Craig obviously comes in today, hoping to knock him off of his perch. Craig, have you seen the show before?
I have, and I have no doubt I'm about to embarrass myself. So.
Oh, hopefully, that's what we love here on Live.
I'm used to it on Crawley Town Media, aren't I?
So basically,
I feel more threatened tonight than previous competitions because Craig's obviously got a foot in both camps.
Oh, that is true. That is true. There are some Exeter-based questions. Gary knows how it rolls. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, question 1. Striker Gary Alexander played for both Crawley and Exeter, scoring 13 goals for Crawley in a 2-year spell. Did he score a higher or lower number of goals during his time at Exeter?
My God.
So Gary Alexander. Oh yeah, you're a bit stumped there, Gary. You've got to make these questions hard. You're too good. Gary Alexander played for both Crawley and Exeter. He scored 13 goals for Crawley in a 2-year spell. Did he score a higher or lower number of goals for Exeter? Okay, Gary, you have gone lower. You might have to point your camera to make sure everyone can't hear you. Lower. Craig, you have gone.
Also lower.
They've both gone lower. It was actually higher. He scored 13 goals for Crawley, but 16 for Exeter in 37 games. Not a bad record there from Gary. Okay, it is 0-0. Question 2. Crawley have played Exeter 17 times in all competitions, dating back to the first tie in the 94-95 season. Crawley have only won 3 times. But have they drawn a higher or lower number of those games than Exeter have won? So have there been a higher number of draws or a lower number of draws than there has been in Exeter wins in this fixture? Okay, Craig, the challenger, you have gone
Higher,
higher. Gary has gone lower. I can reveal the answer. There's been 6 draws and 8 Exeter wins, so the answer is lower. Gary takes the lead, the reigning champ.
Should have more faith in Exeter.
Yeah, so 1-0 to Gary. Right, question number 3. Craig, you're going to have to write this down. Okay. Craig, in the 17 games that have been played between these two clubs, how many goals have been scored between the two sides? So in the 17 fixtures that these two clubs have played, how many goals have been scored in total? Yeah, told you, tough this week, Gary. Too easy in previous weeks. We want wrong answers.
17 games.
Take your time, Craig. We are live,
Take
but
17,
take your time.
yeah.
17 games. How many goals in total? Could you write it any smaller?
Oh, has everyone got to see it?
Yeah, come on. With an audience at home, but let's people actually watch this garbage,
30.
you know. Craig has gone 30. Gary, 17 games. Higher or lower than 30?
I think
to go 2-0 up.
That might be quite low. Sure.
He thinks it's low. Gary does 2. He's gone higher. I can reveal there's been 2.6 goals per game. The answer's 45. It's higher. Gary the champ goes 2-0 up. Craig is in big trouble here.
I can't be in
okay.
Anyway, so it's only right.
Gary, question 4. You need to write down this time. Paul Tisdale managed 626 games as Exeter manager in a 12-year spell. During his spell, how many managers did Crawley have in that time? Yeah, tough. So Paul Tisdale managed 626 games for Exeter in a 12-year spell. During his spell, how many managers did Crawley have during his reign? Now, I would say if there's been 2 caretaker managers, they both count. So in a time where there's been 2 caretaker managers, I've counted them. Gary's gone 7. Craig, higher or lower than 7?
Number of Crawley managers since Tisdale.
You've gone higher. I can reveal the first manager, when Paul Tisdale took over at Exeter, was actually John Hollins. The last was Harry Kewell. It's 16. Well out, Gary. It is higher. Craig gets one back.
As few as 16.
As few as 16. Craig gets one back. It's 2-1 going into the last question. Now, you might notice at the writing of this question, I was scrambling for questions. So, this is it. Both of you need to write an answer down this one. What, at the last estimation, what is the population of Exeter? Scrambling. What is
On a football-related quiz.
Oh, all right, Gary. You keep getting the football ones right. No, you're waiting for Gary. No, you just got to guess. Okay. Gary's gone 80,000. Craig has gone 212,000. One of you is about 73,000 out. One of you is about 50,000 out. So I can confirm you're both absolutely rubbish at guessing populations. The answer was 129,800. Gary is the closest, which means he wins 3-0. Unbelievable. 3-1, sorry, Craig. Craig, listen, many a person now has come on this show and been beaten by Gary. Not only does he know about football, he also knows about population.
Can I just clarify? I don't live in Exeter, so I don't know.
Craig, can we just ask you to take your mic off and give it to Gary, because Gary's going to stick around.
Gary, if you just hold.
I tell you what, we could go to the commercial video. Let's have a look. So I'm sorry there's more of this mug, but obviously as a club now in these desperate times of COVID, we are looking still for sponsorship and people to support the club. If you know a business or you run a business who can help us, please do help us. And let's hear a little bit more about the commercial opportunities at Crawley Town. Hi, my name's Joe Comper, Head of Commercial here at Crawley Town, West Sussex's only professional football club. Last year, over 75,000 people walked through these turnstiles to watch a game of football here at the People's Pension Stadium. But as well as being the perfect venue to watch live football with your family and friends, Crawley Town FC is also the perfect place to do business.
As a local business, our branding in the stadium was really important. It was an ideal opportunity to sponsor the pod, as it's right in the corner, which is always good for a photo opportunity. We still to this day get excited if we see ourselves pop up on the telly. And the amount of people I've had mention to me, we saw your signage on the TV, in the local paper. We do get a lot of advertising through being a sponsor of the club.
Having a professional football club, it puts Crawley on the map. And by virtue of the association with the football club, then it helps put the business on the map. Manor bid has worked with Crawley Town Football Club for many, many years. And it's been a really fruitful and positive relationship. And the benefits of us working with Crawley Town Football Club is that through the bid, we're able to offer Manor Royal companies exclusive packages to support Manor Royal companies in commercial benefits and also staff well-being packages as well.
We definitely get a return on investment from being involved with Crawley. We interact with most of the other sponsors. In fact, looking around the stadium now, the names that are on all the boards, we probably do business with most of them.
We've been based here at Holmbush Farm for over 20 years with an 01293 telephone exchange, but a small market share of our business has been in the Horsham district, and I've always wondered why, so I thought it was a good opportunity to spread the word and the branding around Crawley by getting involved with the club, and it's proved to be a success.
Enhancing our partners' brand awareness is a great way of ensuring that they get a return on their investment. But another great way is by them enjoying the matchday hospitality here in the Mayo Win Baxter Lounge and meeting other like-minded business people before taking their seats in the director's box.
The matchday experience in Crawley, I would say, is far better than the level of football. It's probably championship food and entertainment in the lounge, whereas perhaps we're only League Two on the pitch, but hopefully that'll catch up. I now go to a lot of away games and experience the entertainment at other clubs, and Crawley stands out by far from some clubs that are a lot bigger.
We thoroughly enjoy the matchday hospitality. It's not only a brilliant opportunity to meet new people, but we bring potential clients, existing clients. I always think they've got it to the level of going to like a brilliant hotel venue.
And we do also get to take customers on hospitality experiences on match day as well.
On a match day, quite often we will bring people that, if they've got young children, they might want to come and we can get them to go out onto the pitch.
And what I like about the atmosphere there, it's a really great friendly atmosphere, it's a nice intimate setting, and it gives you a chance to get to know people on a different level while watching a great football match as well.
Last season, on average, over 100 people per game watched football from the Mayo Win Baxter Suite, many of them now doing business with each other. But our reach goes far beyond that. Across our social media channels, we have over 130,000 followers, and we feature on TV channels on a weekly basis, such as Sky, BBC, BT and ITV. Last year, at one point, during a game here against Colchester, over 2 million people were watching Crawley Town live on the telly. So with so many different marketing opportunities, we at Crawley Town truly believe that we can help you grow your business. So what are you waiting for? Why not get in touch so we can have an informal discussion about how we can fit a bespoke marketing plan to help your business, and you can become a part of the Crawley Town family. If it wasn't enough listening to me for 45 minutes whilst I present this live, you're now getting me talking rubbish during the cutaways as well, so I'm very sorry about that. Someone who never talks rubbish is BBC Sussex radio commentator Gary. I've got that introduction nailed, by the way, now.
Absolutely.
It's taken a few weeks, but absolutely nailed. Gary, obviously really good performance at the weekend.
Yeah.
Are you expecting us to kick on tonight?
Love to see it, Joe, and you would hope that, from Saturday the players will have great momentum, great confidence coming into tonight. A clean sheet, a demolition of the leads, if you like, in the second half on Saturday. And I think Tony Vesey and I said it was probably the complete 45 minutes of a performance from a Crawley side, we've seen in a long, long time. I'm not going to say that if they don't get anything here tonight, then Saturday powers into insignificance, but you'd like to think that they would kick on and certainly use that with a bit of momentum to come into tonight. And they currently sit above Exeter in the table as well. And I think, as much as we spoke on Saturday about if you finish above Morecambe, you'll be safe from relegation, I think if you finish above Exeter, you'll be pushing for the playoffs.
It's true, it's true. I mean, Exeter always there or thereabouts,
yeah.
So reasonable shout that. And what you said there about, obviously, doesn't pale into significant Saturday. But if you're going to get up to the top of the league, you've got to come to places like this and try and get a point, haven't you? At least go away with a point, and that's how you're really going to build.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think like we said on Saturday, good start for Crawley tonight. If they can grab the first goal, you know, like we did when we came here in February, and we were showing some great away form there. All that they equalised late on in the game again. You know, they've got a good record here. I think Crawley unbeaten in their last 5 visits to Exeter. You know, obviously it's a place that John knows very well. He would love to come and get something tonight, and it's just another thing to build on, isn't it? Going into a very tough run of games, as we spoke about, you know, in the games ahead.
Yeah, and you were saying we've not got a bad recent record here against Exeter.
No, very good. I remember coming here a couple of seasons ago on a Good Friday, won by 3-1. I think Greg O'Cox got his first 2 goals of the season on that day last season. Drew 1-1, could have won the game quite easily, could have again put it to bed when they were 1-0 in front and allowed Exeter to get a late equaliser. But I think at that stage Exeter were pushing for the playoffs. Last year they made the playoff final. They're a good side, you know, take nothing away from them. It won't be a disappointment. It'll be a disappointment, but it won't be a disgrace if we lose tonight. But I think it'll be a disappointment after Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. And Saturday, obviously, there was that change at half time.
Yeah.
Watters comes on for Naderson. That team starts here today.
Yeah.
Obviously, Naderson not in the squad. Do you think that could be a positive for us? Do you think we're not going to probably miss at the pace of Naderson?
Yeah, but I think Watters is of a very similar pace, isn't he? He likes to get in behind, likes to be on the shoulder of the last defender and have that ball played into the channel for him to run onto. Showed different sides to his game, I think, on Saturday. Obviously got one with a header, pressurised the defender into making that poor back pass. And Lavelle, the defender for Morecambe on Saturday, must have gone home absolutely having nightmares about Max Watters on the coach back to Morecambe and on Saturday night, because he made his life an absolute misery for 45 minutes.
He must have been quite comfortable at half time thinking I got this. Yeah,
exactly. Not that Naderson had played badly. He'd played his usual game and worked hard and put himself about and tried to create chances. But Watters, I think, from the second minute of the second half, was all over the Morecambe defence, and he needs to be doing the same thing here tonight.
One thing we've had this season from the start is a settled back four, it seems.
Yeah.
Franklin playing on the right, Doherty on the left, Tunnicliffe and Craig in the middle.
Yeah.
Is that going to be what you think is going to push us on this season? And that big foundation, that sort of foundation that's solid and consistent at the back. I mean, Doherty sort of seems to become that 7 out of 10 player every week at least, like Matt Sadler was years ago.
Yeah. And I think Frankham as well. I think Frankham was almost a man of the match performance, wasn't he? On Saturday, obviously got the goal that started the ball rolling, put in a real captain's performance. And I think if you can continually pick the same back four and the same goalkeeper, then it's obviously a great foundation to build on, isn't it, going forward? If you've got that spine of the midfield, I thought that both Matthews and Hessenthaler and in the central midfield area, Powell as well, I thought looked great on Saturday as well, and Tyler Frost on one side, he got his first goal as well. I just thought all round it looked great, but that foundation of the back five is a wonderful thing to build on.
And finally, Gary, obviously your predictions are not bad typically. What are people been saying online? What are you predicting for this evening?
I think people are predicting us to get something. I think they're living off of Saturday and thinking that we'll come into it, as we mentioned, full of confidence. I think the players will, but I think John will have said to them, you need to keep your feet on the ground. It's an important game again. Like Saturday, I spoke to Lee after the game, and I think his words from the boss were, that's just another 3 points towards safety. It doesn't mean anything if we don't sort of push on from here, as it were.
Yeah.
Or, as good a result as it was tonight. I'm going to sit on the fence again, Joe, and say that it'll finish 1-1. And I think the start of the season, coming away to Exeter midweek, no away fans behind you, I think they would take that.
Yeah, absolutely. Gary, you better go and take your position.
Right.
You're on iFollow very shortly. Thank you for joining us
No
again. And
problem at all.
congratulations on yet another win of Talk of
Thank
the
you very
Town, higher or
much.
lower. That is all we got time for here this evening. The players are just heading in now, as you can see. Playing in an interesting strip tonight. Blue socks, blue shorts and a black top, because obviously our home and away kit clashes with Exeter's as they play in red, white and black. So a bit of a random mishmash of kits, but nonetheless, that's not important. You can, of course, Gary's running off. You can, of course, join Gary over on the iFollow if you haven't done so already. £10 and you can watch the game live. Thank you very much for joining us this week. Please, you can see Gary running here. Please do join us again next week. Thank you for doing it. If you've got feedback of the show, please tweet me personally, tweet the club. We'd love to hear it. If you've got ideas for content, that would be great. Our thanks once again go to the filming company, Nick, who's travelled all the way down to Exeter. Doesn't even like football, but he loves the quality content that we are putting out every week. So a big thanks to Nick and Morgan at the filming company who are putting on this show every week. All that is left for me to say is thank you very much, Exeter, for an unbelievable playlist, by the way, as well. So big thanks to them. But all that's left for me to say is, come on, you Reds! What a show! If you enjoyed it as much as we did, you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that bell icon so you can be notified about when we are next live here from Talk of the Town. Make sure you don't ever miss an episode, subscribe, hit the bell, and we will see you again very soon.